Good afternoon, Mr. Roelofse. Thank you. I think bring your mic closer to you so we can hear you.
Thank you.
Yes. How are you this afternoon?
Very well, thank you, Acting Chief Justice.
Thank you. Thank you for availing yourself for consideration for appointment as a judge of the Mpumalanga Division, and thank you for attending this interview session. I see that you hold the degrees BCom Law, BProc, and LLB, and then you have a Diploma Juris and a postgraduate diploma in financial planning.
That's correct, Acting Chief Justice.
Yes. And you got your BCom Law in 1987, is that correct?
That's correct.
Your Diploma Juris in 1991?
Yes.
Your BProc in 1993?
Yes.
And your postgraduate diploma in 2003?
And the LLB, it was in 1 year that I achieved both.
Or do you do the LLB and the
Yes.
financial planning diploma same time?
Same time, and only a few people passed that diploma. It's very difficult.
Oh, and the Diploma Juris, did the credits you got there, did they not get recognized for your BProc?
It did, but they made a mistake. They made me do a private law twice, contract and dealing twice.
Yes.
So I know that by now.
Yes.
But it was a mistake.
Yes. Well, there is a candidate that we interviewed one of the days this week who had started with a Diploma Juris, and later on I think he had either a B Juris or a BProc, and I asked him whether the Diploma Juris survived or whether it got subsumed in the B Juris or BProc, and he said it got subsumed.
Yeah, I think
did this not happen with you?
I think it did, but I had to do Dip Juris at that time because I was a prosecutor, and I only was appointed as a justice clerk prosecuting in the regional court. So,
yes.
So I had to do it to get the law diploma in order to continue prosecuting.
Yeah, but the point I'm raising is whether once you got BProc, you are entitled to write both of them, or whether once you had BProc, the courses that you had done for the Diploma Juris get subsumed in the BProc, and whether you should just write BProc, it never counts. It doesn't count anymore, or does still count?
Well, the certificate is on my wall. It was conferred upon me.
Sorry?
The certificate is on my wall. It was conferred upon me. BProc was conferred upon me, LLB, and so on. So
yes, no, but that's not the answer. They will always have been conferred. The question is whether the rules of the university concerned don't say that if you get a BProc, then the Diploma Juris falls away.
I don't know. It was two universities. One was UNISA and one was Pretoria University.
Okay, no, I think we have an academic here and she says it doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
but I ask you because earlier this week we had a candidate who said this is what happens with. Okay. All right. You started your working career as a warden in the Correctional Services Department, is that right?
Yes, I started at the tail end of the justice system.
Yes, and then you became a prosecutor.
Yes.
But then you left the Department of Justice and went to the private sector and became an insurance agent.
Yes.
And later a financial planner.
Yes.
And then in 2003, you started practicing as an advocate.
That's correct.
And have you continued practicing as an advocate without interruption up to now?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us, please, about the types of cases that you have been doing as an advocate since 2003.
A wide variety, Chief Justice. Criminal work, all that came my way. I never perceived myself to be entitled to any brief. I worked for my brief. So it's a wide variety.
Yes, but I want that wide variety because I want to assess how
Yes.
much exposure in terms of different branches of law your practice has given you?
Criminal law, I did first few years, like many people. Then it went to land issues. It also went to environmental law. It also went to contractual disputes. It went to a certain extent to construction disputes, insolvencies, and also the land issues. I did many land claims work.
Okay. Have you done, I see from your question, you have only done one labor matter, is that right?
Yes, one labor matter, yes.
Yes. Constitutional law, you said, often in respect of evictions and in
Yes.
respect of land claims,
Yes.
court matters.
I appeared once in the Constitutional Court to review a decision of the Constitutional Court. I think it was the first time I lost. But
Yes. Okay. And you have acted in the High Court?
yes, Acting Chief Justice.
And for how long have you acted?
It will be 86 weeks by this time.
It will be?
86 weeks.
Yes. And how have you found acting in the High Court?
I enjoy it.
Yes. Okay. Judge President?
Thank you, Chair. Mpumalanga division is a fairly new division.
That's correct, Judge President.
Despite being a new division, judges complained in a way which made me to be happy at the end of the last term that you have never had a busier term like the one which we had this year. Am I right?
It is so, Judge President. It's because of case management. Cases are managed. So by the time you get a file, it's ready to be disposed of.
Yeah. And you are aware that the establishment for the division is only 9 judges.
Yes.
And up to now, there are 7 permanent judges.
Yes, Judge President.
3 were appointed in April this year.
Yes.
Out of the 7, we have 4 women judges and 3 male judges.
Yes.
Myself, Judge Mashile, and the newly appointed Judge Rachivumo.
That's correct.
Yes. Now, would you agree that as a new division, we would require fairly experienced judicial officers, almost like all-rounders?
That's correct.
I think it is now known that in the province we have so many criminal matters. And if we were having sufficient funds, we would actually be having 5 criminal courts running on daily basis.
It's absolutely necessary, Chief Justice, Judge President.
No, I will be Chief Justice one day, don't worry.
Well, somebody said 95% chance that somebody in this room will be.
Yeah,
I think it was Pofu who commissioned Pofu.
I'm due to retire, but I'm going to be Chief Justice one day.
Well, Judge President, now you run that division, it might be possible.
Yes. But I think we need to be thankful to the Minister for having tried to help us in dealing with some of this, despite the budgetary constraints that we are facing as a country. And for that, we need to be thankful to you. Now, You have written how many judgments since you acted in the division?
46, Judge President. Some judgments I give extempore, where the issues are not difficult, and that way justice is dispensed faster, sooner. But 46 that I've recorded.
You are currently acting until the end of the term.
Yes.
And how many reserved judgments are you still having?
I did 4 very difficult opposed motions yesterday. I gave the parties my prima facie views. Senior counsel were involved in all of them. When I gave my prima facie views, subject to a change of mind or conviction otherwise, 1 settled, 1 was withdrawn. I was left with 2, which I finalized, and I have to write those judgments. So for all the time I've acted, the only judgments reserved is 2. I delivered a judgment which was difficult, which Judge Mashir and I sat in an application for admission, which raised constitutional issues, which was also delivered yesterday. So judgments outstanding from yesterday.
And what magic are you performing? Perhaps you're going to a place called Mbuzini, and I'm sure Commissioner Nyambe will know that Mbuzini is where we get power, so to put it.
Well,
where do you get the energy, the magic to be able to finalize these matters as soon as possible?
JP, it is because every time I open a file, I look forward to the new journey. Because every file is a journey to somewhere. It's a journey on facts or the law, and both. So I'm filled with excitement by opening a court file. I can't wait to open it. Sometimes while it's still in the boot of my car, I check it. Then I, like people binge drink and binge series, I binge judgments. I don't stop until I'm finished. And that is what I attribute to how I do it, Judge President. I do not stop. It's better to rest and know your work is done than to rest and worry that something still needs to be done.
And the beauty sometimes about affording people for a longer period of acting as the head of court, you become to know them better.
Yes, Judge President.
And that is very important in every court setup.
Yes.
And you would agree with me. There is a saying which goes around like this, and I'm sure you'll agree because you're an advocate, that legal practitioners or advocates, they know judges better than the judges know themselves.
Yes, because they talk amongst each other.
Oh, well, we also, I suppose. But here's the thing. When you hear comments from these important bodies like NADEL, like BLA, like the Law Society, like the GCB, as a head of court, you need to take those comments quite very seriously because they're important and they know better.
Yes, because ultimately you are serving the people through the people that are part of those institutions, and that is the legal practitioners. So it's very, very important to take that into account.
And I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Sometimes as head of court, there are certain matters, and because you have got colleagues around you, you know their strengths, you know their weaknesses, and without disadvantaging the others, once you have matters and you have to allocate, you have to say first, to whom can I give this complicated matter? Would you agree?
Yes, that is so, Judge President.
Okay, and that can be done without disadvantaging other people because we teach each other all the time.
Yes.
And the beauty about having experienced judges sometimes is to ensure that those who come after them, they learn from the most senior judges or experienced judges.
That is correct. That is so.
Okay. Now, lastly, there is these Friday meetings, and those Friday meetings, they started last year and they've been done virtually every Friday. What is the beauty about it, if there is any? Or perhaps you should just stop them.
No, please. I attended this morning's meeting because the others were here and I was still coming, so I had time to attend. Judge President, many things are discussed. Sometimes, like in Women's Month, there was an effort made to give tribute to women. And how proud we as men are of those women who are on the bench. We encourage each other because we have difficult roles sometimes. And we also speak about common issues. We speak about issues like that there should be uniformity without interfering with a judge's discretion. And that is important. So it must continue. And it's extremely valuable.
And in that meeting, now that you're reminding me, male colleagues spoke, and female colleagues were so overwhelmed.
Yes.
That they were not even able to express themselves, just overwhelmed by what the male colleagues said.
Yes.
Okay.
JP, there is collegiality. This morning at 6 o'clock, I was woken by a call from one of the female permanent judges who said she wants to pray for me.
Oh, really?
And she started praying for me. And that is the kind of collegiality that, Judge President, you're the leader. You created that. And
no.
We appreciate that.
There's nothing like that. I can't do without you. I think it is you. I am the one who need to be thankful for that cordiality. Now, you are, and I'm just raising it now because it's likely to come out. You are a male, white person who aspired to be a judge.
Yes.
In our division, as it is now, 7 judges, we do not have any judge of color mean white or even Indian for that matter. Now, this question is likely to arise. Do you want to deal with it now or you want to deal with it later?
Judge President, the bench must be representative of the wider society. We have many white people also in the province, Middelburg, and that is the Highveld and the Lowveld. And it is time that a white person should also be appointed to that bench in order to represent the diversity of the province. Subject thereto that person is capable to do the job.
Chair, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge President. Premier?
No question, thanks.
Thank you, Premier. Commissioner Notesi?
It's just a follow-up to the JP's question.
Yes.
Why do you say it's time for the white men should be appointed? Why it should be when they have been there for 365 years with no black people? Should we use the word should be appointed? Or we just say it must come?
It must come. I agree. The issue is this, that it's a new division.
Yeah, but we must not say they should.
Yeah.
We're not forced to do that.
Yeah, nobody's forced to do anything, but it's time.
Commissioner Roelofse.
Thank you, TCJ. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, yeah. Good afternoon, Advocate.
Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Just remind me, you are the one who's doing a lot of work for the LSSA.
Yes, and no, not for LSSA. I'm a council member on the Mpumalanga Legal Practice Council.
Okay,
yes.
just sorry, I just wanted to verify because I thought I always see your name. Okay.
Yeah, you will see my name there.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Nyambi.
Thank you, SJ. Afternoon.
Afternoon, Commissioner.
It's one question from my side. When dealing with JP, we have touched the positive about the division. Probably if you can assist us to understand as a commission whether you are ready in terms of the immediate challenges facing the division of this rural province called Mpumalanga.
Commissioner, I'm ready. There's hardly no court in the whole province I have not yet appeared. From east to west, from north to south. I know the people, I know the courts, I know the challenges. I know the issues about gender-based violence. I've written many judgments on that. So I am ready to serve my province, and that is Mpumalanga.
I thought you were able to touch the positives.
Yeah,
I was expecting you to deal with the immediate challenges, not just say there are challenges.
Yeah.
Single them out and share with us and what might be the solution.
Well, the immediate challenge we succeeded in getting rid of was initial adversity by legal practitioners against the practice directives and how it was run. But after courses were given and after the judiciary made its inputs, that has improved tremendously. So that helps with access to the courts. The legal practitioners now understand the practice directives and why they are strict. And we have gone strides in that regard. So that is what I would consider the positive thing. We see now on our rolls matters that are ready to proceed. There is no reason for a postponement. Previously, when the division just started, there were many postponements, many reasons, many objections. But that has now been rectified. So we are running well now.
Thank you, Advocate Roelofse. Thank you, SCJ.
Thank you, Commissioner Nyambi. Commissioner Matonsela.
Thank you, Acting Chief Justice, and good afternoon, Advocate Roelofse.
Good afternoon, Commissioner.
May I please find out, are you, at the moment when you are not acting, what are you doing?
Nothing. No, I'm joking.
Too many are truth are said in jest.
Yes, I tried to run a practice, but if you act for long times, you have to restart your practice. But there are attorneys that are very, very, very kind to me. So they still keep me busy, but obviously you cannot commit to long matters if you don't know when the telephone is going to ring and you've committed yourself to the Judge President.
Can I have a follow-up, Chief Justice, on that?
Yeah.
Do you keep chambers?
I do not have chambers now because I don't know what the future will hold. If I'm not appointed, I will join the Pretoria Bar and I will keep chambers there.
I have to follow up on this question because it was leading to something else.
Okay.
On the last occasion when we were here, the Mpumalanga Bar of Society of Advocates had raised an issue that you were, as it were, suspectus de fuga.
Yeah,
in the sense that they were complaining that you had not paid bar fees for a long time, and they were looking for them. Then when they were trying to discipline you on that, then you resigned.
Yeah, but
with an outstanding debt.
Yes.
Still not paid to them.
It is now paid. It's now paid. It was during the same time that the issue.
Are you answering the question that I've asked?
Sorry?
Are you putting words in my mouth?
No, I'm not. You may continue. Sorry,
I noticed when other people were asking you questions, you answered them before they did.
All right, I'll wait.
And you even had the nerve to tell us that it is time for you to be appointed.
Not me. I said it's time.
Because you are white.
Yes.
Will you please listen to the question I intend?
I will. Thank you.
Oh, no, you are even interrupting when I'm talking.
No, I said I will. Thank you.
Well, I don't have any question.
Did you want to follow up, Commissioner?
Yeah,
Motsepe?
thank you, Acting CJ. The issue of Mpumalanga advocates, it was brought to the Legal Practice Council, it was dealt with, and it was finalized.
Okay. Commissioners on the virtual platform, any questions?
No questions, thank you, Acting Chief Justice. Thank you, Acting Chief Justice. I have a question.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. I'd like you to
Good
answer
afternoon.
a question pertaining to the jurisdiction of a High Court judge. And it's one we've asked other candidates. I'd like to know your approach as well. The facts are that a financial institution sues a person for a relatively trivial amount of money and prefers to litigate the action in the High Court before you. What would your approach be?
My approach would be to finalize the matter, but not to grant costs on a High Court scale. Because the decision of the SCA is that the High Court must hear matters, even though it is within the jurisdiction of the lower courts.
You then seem to be unaware of the recent authority that in fact in the NCA context, the requirement is for the financial institution to bring the matter in the magistrate's court.
Yes.
You are aware of that?
I will check that up.
That would then mean that your initial response to me was not correct, though.
Yeah, then it was not correct.
But then you can't be aware of that authority.
No. I'm saying that there was an issue over whether or not the High Courts must or should adjudicate matters of the lower court. And I understood the judgment of the SCA to be that, well, the High Court must. I just did not mention the issue of the NCA Act.
Thank you. Oh, is there follow-up?
I won't take it any further. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Judge President Lambo.
Thank you, Acting Chief Justice. I'm covered.
Okay, all right. There are no further hands. We've come to the end of this interview. Thank you once again for availing yourself, Mr. Roelofse. You are now excused.
Thank you, Acting Chief Justice.
Thank you.
Cooperation in assisting me establish the court. They all laughed at me and said I was dreaming.
Yes, I was part of that meeting.
Yeah. But what I wanted the commission to know is that you were one of those practitioners who raised their hands and say, JP, we will assist you.
That's correct.
And you had no problems in being posted to far-flung areas of the province, Mkobola, Brayton, you name it.
No.
Thank
No
you very
problem.
much, Acting Chief Justice.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are now.
Chair, second thought again. You were, with your permission.
I'm sorry, you want a follow-up?
Yes, it's
Okay,
some sort
all
of a
right.
follow-up, but because it relates to it.
Mhm.
You are also one of the advocates who established the Mpumalanga Society of Advocates.
That's correct.
And when it started, you also invited some of the judges to address the peoples, and in one occasion I was one of them.
That is correct, Judge President.
Now, what role did you play in ensuring that the society, the Mpumalanga Society of Advocates, takes to the ground?
Well, Judge President, I arranged for chambers. I, with the help of my wife, who did the administration, ran those chambers for a number of months. We paid from our own pockets, sometimes the salaries. We bought the toilet paper and the milk and the paper. We arranged for telephone lines. We did all of that. When the first pupils came, I was the only person there to train the pupils. There were 6. I trained all of them alone. There were no furniture for them. I built tables for them with my own hands.
Are you a carpenter?
It's one of my hobbies.
Okay.
So they had tables and they had chairs. And that's how it got from the ground. Later, the chairperson came more often and the membership grew. But that is what we did.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are excused now, Mr. Roelofse.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.